Your garden is dying, and it's your fault. You're out there watering plants that were never meant to survive where you live, watching your peach tree shrivel, your strawberries turn to rocks, your water bill skyrocket. Stop. I'm giving you 8 fruits designed by evolution for hellscapes, deserts, scrublands, places where rain is a rumor and soil is gravel. These plants will thrive while everything else dies. If you live somewhere hot and dry, this changes everything. Jujube is the most underrated fruit in America, and you've never heard of it because nurseries have been selling you water-hungry garbage when this exists. Also called Chinese date, it's hardy to zone 6, but dominates zones 7 through 10, Texas, Arizona, California's Central Valley, places where summer is brutal. Once established, it doesn't just tolerate drought, it prefers it. Overwatering makes the fruit bland. This tree wants you to forget about it, and when you do it, rewards you with pounds of fruit. Fresh off the tree, when it's green and firm, it tastes like a crisp apple, crunchy, sweet, slightly tart. Let it ripen further and it turns brown and wrinkled, chewy and dense like a date, intensely sweet. You can dry them and they'll last months. They're packed with antioxidants, fiber, vitamin C, minerals. Compare this to apples, which need constant water, cold winters, and get scab, fire blight, codling moth, 47 other diseases. Jujubes have almost no pests. Deer don't touch them. Thorny varieties act as security. They produce fruit in year 2 or 3 and live 50-plus years with 0 inputs once established. If you're planting near a path, get a thornless cultivar like Li or Lang. But honestly, thorns are a feature, not a bug. They keep wildlife out. If you live anywhere hot and dry and you're not growing jujubes, you're doing it wrong. Prickly pear survives where everything else is dead. Hardy zones 9 to 12. Some varieties survive zone 4 with protection. Desert heat, 0 rain, 90% sand soil, doesn't matter. This thing grows. Here's the magic. You get 2 crops from 1 plant. The pads called Nopales are edible. Harvest the young tender pads, scrape off spines, cook them, grill them, sauté them, throw them in tacos. They taste like a cross between green beans and bell peppers with tangy lemon flavor. In Mexico, nopales are a staple, nutritious, high fiber, regulate blood sugar. Then there's the fruit, the tunas, those oval, colorful fruits on the pad edges. When ripe, they're sweet and juicy, part melon, part berry, depending on variety. Eat them fresh, juice them, make jelly. I know what you're thinking, the spines. But there are spineless varieties like Elysiana, spines so fine they're barely there. You still want gloves, but it's not a nightmare. Compare this to raspberries or blackberries, which need constant water, rich soil, covered in thorns that hurt. Birds eat half your crop. They spread aggressively, and in hot, dry places, they die. Prickly pear, you plant it. Forget it. Harvest it. That's it. Don't water after year 1, don't fertilize, don't prune unless it's taking over. It just photosynthesizes in 115-degree heat, making food. If you're in the Southwest, prickly pear should be in your yard as a food source, not decoration. Canistel is one of the weirdest fruits you've never heard of, also called egg fruit, and when I tell you what it tastes like, you'll think I'm lying. Hardy zones 10 to 11, South Florida, Southern California, coastal areas, Hawaii, warmest Texas. This is tender tropical. So if you get freezes, this isn't your tree. But if you're in the right zone, this fruit is bizarre in the best way. Looks like an elongated yellow mango. When ripe, the skin is smooth and golden. Cut it open, and inside is bright yellow-orange flesh. Texture is dry and dense, not juicy. Dry like cooked sweet potato or pumpkin pie filling. That's exactly what it tastes like. Canistel tastes like sweet potato mixed with pumpkin pie filling. Sweet, starchy, hints of vanilla and maple. Not refreshing, rich, dense, almost cloying. If you eat too much but used correctly, it's incredible. Don't eat it like regular fruit. Scoop out the flesh. Blend it into smoothies where it adds thick, creamy texture and natural sweetness. Use it in baking, Canistel pie, custard, pancakes. It's a dessert ingredient that grows on a tree. Some eat it fresh with a spoon, but honestly, it's better mixed with something. The dry texture is acquired taste, but in a smoothie with milk and ice, it's like drinking pumpkin pie. Kids love it. Adults are confused, then impressed. Compared to mango, which needs consistent water, especially during flowering and fruiting, sensitive to salt, gets anthracnose, powdery mildew, leaf hoppers, high maintenance. Canistel, once established, is low maintenance for tropical fruit, handles dry spells better than mango, fewer pest issues. Fruit hangs on tree weeks after ripening, so no rush to harvest. Tree is evergreen with glossy leaves, grows slowly but steadily, doesn't get huge, manageable in suburban yard. And because fruit is so weird and doesn't ship well, you'll never see it in stores. Backyard-only experience. Black sapote sounds like a scam, also known as chocolate pudding fruit, and yes, it actually tastes like chocolate pudding, kind of. Hardy zones 10 to 11, South Florida, Southern California, Hawaii, coastal Texas, more cold sensitive than some tropicals. But if you're in the right zone, it's a must grow. Fruit looks like green tomato when unripe. You wait more. When ripe, the skin turns dark, almost black-green, and fruit gets soft. Cut it open, and inside is dark brown pudding-like flesh. Texture smooth and creamy. Looks exactly like chocolate pudding. Flavor is mild, sweet, subtle cocoa-ish taste. Not Nutella, not Snickers, but closer to chocolate than any other fruit on earth. Eat it with a spoon straight from the skin. Blend into smoothies, mix with yogurt, use as base for raw desserts. Kids love this. Novelty factor off the charts. You're eating fruit that tastes like chocolate pudding from a tree. Conversation starter. Flex. Tree itself is evergreen, attractive. Once established, handles dry spells better than most tropical fruits. Doesn't need tons of water compared to bananas or papayas, which are basically aquatic plants pretending to be trees. If you're zone 10 or 11 and want something unique, black sapote is worth the space. Not as drought-proof as Jujube or prickly pear, but for tropical fruit impressively tough. K-apple is the plant you grow when you want fruit and want to keep intruders out. Basically, edible barbed wire. Hardy Zone 9, though, some gardeners report surviving protected Zone 8, native to South Africa, which tells you everything. Hot, dry, unforgiving, designed for punishment. Tree or large shrub covered in vicious thorns, 2 to 3 inch thorns that go through leather glove. The plant you use for living fence. Plant along property line and nothing gets through. Not deer, not coyotes, not neighbor's dog. Here's the surprise. Fruit is actually good, small, plum-sized, golden yellow skin when ripe. Flavor tart like cross between apricot and citrus. Too sour to eat fresh for most, but makes incredible jelly, syrup, sauces, high vitamin C, unique flavor. Plant produces heavily. Compared to traditional apple or pear tree, which need water, fertilizer, pest management, offers zero security benefits. K-apple is fruit tree and security system in one package. Drought tolerance insane. Once established, ignore it for months. Thrives on neglect. In fact, too much water causes problems. This plant wants to be tough. If you're in hot, dry area and need hedge or windbreak that feeds you, K-apple is the answer. Just wear gloves, thick gloves, maybe chainmail. Barbados gooseberry is weird, also called Pereskia aculeata, climbing cactus. Yes, cactus that climbs, yes, makes edible fruit. Hardy zones 9B to 11B, native Caribbean and Central America, so likes heat, but unlike most tropical plants, surprisingly drought tolerant once established. It's a cactus after all. Cacti designed to survive when rain stops. Plant unusual. Has leaves which most cacti don't. Has thorns which all cacti do. Grows like vines scrambling over fences, trellises, anything vertical, fast-growing, aggressive. Makes great living fence or privacy screen. Fruit small, cherry-sized when ripe golden yellow, flavor tart, gooseberry-like with citrus hint. Too sour to eat fresh for most, but makes excellent jam, jelly, syrup, high vitamin C, unique. Plant produces heavily. Compared to traditional berries, strawberries need constant water and rich soil. Blueberries need acidic soil and consistent moisture. Barbados gooseberry needs fence and ability to ignore it. Drought tolerance not as extreme as prickly pear, but far better than conventional berry, and being cactus means very few pest issues. Aphids mostly ignore it, deer won't touch it. If you're warm, dry climate and want something unusual that produces edible fruit and looks cool, Barbados gooseberry worth trying, conversation piece that feeds you. Jaboticaba breaks the drought tolerance rule, but I'm including it anyway because it's so weird, so cool, so delicious that if you live humid climate or don't mind watering, you need to know about it. Brazilian grape tree, hardy zones 10 to 12. Some varieties push zone 9B with protection. Tree for South Florida, Southern California, coastal areas, Hawaii, Gulf Coast. What makes Jaboticaba insane? Fruit doesn't grow on branches, grows directly on trunk and main stems. Walk up to tree, an entire trunk covered in dark, purple grape-sized fruits. Looks like Dr. Seuss book. Looks photoshopped, but it's real. Fruit tastes like grape mixed with lychee, sweet, juicy, slightly floral note, skin thick and slightly astringent, but flesh inside incredible. Pop them in mouth, spit out seeds, immediately reach for another. They're addictive. Eat them fresh, make jelly, ferment into wine. In Brazil, Jaboticaba wine is a thing. Sweet, fruity, apparently very good. Fruit makes excellent jam because natural pectin in skins. Here's the catch. Jaboticaba not drought tolerant. Subtropical to tropical tree prefers consistent moisture and humidity. If you live Arizona or inland California, this tree will sulk and possibly die. But if you live Florida, coastal Southern California, anywhere humid and warm, this tree thrives. Also, slow growing, really slow, looking at 5 to 8 years before significant fruiting. Some say 10 to 15 years from seed, but grafted trees fruit faster. Tree you plant for future self or kids. Here's why it's worth it. Once mature, Jaboticaba produces multiple times per year, can fruit 3 to 5 times annually if conditions right, almost constant fruit production. And because fruit's so unique and doesn't ship well, you'll never find it in stores, backyard-only experience. Tree itself, beautiful, smooth mottled bark that peels in patches revealing lighter wood, dense glossy foliage. White flowers smell sweet. Even when not fruiting, it's ornamental. Yes, I broke my own rule. Jaboticaba needs water. But if you're right climate and want weirdest, coolest fruit tree in neighborhood, this is it. Neighbors will lose their minds when they see grapes growing on trunk. Grumichama is another Brazilian gem, also called Brazilian cherry. And unlike every other fruit called cherry that tastes nothing like one, this actually delivers. Hardy zones 9 to 11, Southern California, Florida, Gulf Coast, parts Arizona and Texas that don't freeze. Member of Eugenia family, which includes lots of tropical fruits you've never heard of but should be growing. What makes Grumichama special? Fruit looks like large, dark purple to black cherry, ping-pong ball-sized, glossy skin. When you bite into it, flavor legitimately cherry-like, sweet with rich, dark cherry taste. Some describe as cross between cherry and plum with grape hint, complex, delicious, real. Compared to so-called cherries people try growing in warm climates, sweet cherries need chill hours, need cold winters, If you live zone 9 or 10, you're not growing Bing cherries, you're crying into catalog wishing you lived Washington State. Grumichama doesn't care about chill hours. Tropical evergreen that actually produces fruit in climates where regular cherries die of heat stroke. Tree beautiful, dense dark green foliage. White flowers, smell sweet. Ornamental even when not fruiting. Once established, Grumichama surprisingly drought-tolerant for tropical fruit, not bulletproof as Jujube or prickly pear, but handles dry spells far better than mango or avocado. Water regularly first 2 years to establish roots, then back off significantly. Fruit excellent fresh. Pop them in mouth like cherries. Seed relatively small, so good flesh-to-seed ratio. But here's where it gets better. Grumichama makes incredible jam. Flavor concentrates beautifully when cooked. Sweet, rich, complex, kind of jam you give as gifts and people ask where you bought it. Tree produces heavily once mature, usually starting year 3 or 4, and because evergreen doesn't drop leaves in winter like deciduous fruit trees, stays green year-round, which means photosynthesizing and growing even in cooler months. Downside is Grumichama rare, not finding it at Home Depot. Need to order from specialty nurseries focusing on rare tropical fruits. But that rarity is part of appeal. When you serve Grumichama to guests nobody knows what it is, you get to be person with weird exotic fruit tree. That's a flex. 8 fruits that redefine what's possible in hot climates, 6 that laugh at drought, 2 that need more water but deliver experiences you can't get anywhere else. Stop babying your garden. Stop growing plants that need life support. Start growing food that actually wants to be there. Maybe plant something so weird that when people ask what it is, you get to blow their minds. These aren't just fruits. They're proof you don't need perfect conditions to grow amazing food. You just need to stop fighting your climate and start working with it. Plant these, watch them thrive. Never look back at those sad, dying, water-sucking plants you used to waste time on.